So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Play action here with Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Touchdown. D.D. Westbrook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and you mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Right there, 54, lady.
There, 54 Mike.
Check Mike, check Mike.
Mike's 50.
Throwing, Dalton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So Dalton now. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
First down, Jaguars.
Come on,
this quarterback now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the back and watch the back.
Let's go.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play
70,
that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
I'm going to score.
James O'Shaughnessy with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
21-0 our score after one.
47 is the mic. 47 is the
Now
mic.
following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Dalton. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Okay, break. Hey, high 7. Look at me. Zipper.
Mike 51.
Big rip.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And a rout is on here in this first half. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hey, go 368.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
Ready.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
22 Jet Bomber.
Hey, check 24. Watch 20.
Get it.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
80 weapon. Shoot.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Dalton. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. And Eifert has it. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
That's another.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Hey, here we go.
Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go. 54.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know you felt that one.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
2 by 2. Move.
Dalton off play action. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's another Bengals.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Regular.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals.
Touchdown.
Tyler Boyd, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, you're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
So they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable, and there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
Now Joe Mixon, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Night, sweetheart.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Watch twist.
Ice. Go.
Hey, check Mike.
Dalton here from the gun. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And now here is another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will it be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing again. Dalton. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Andy Dalton. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Watch the slant. Kill.
Heavy.
Kill. Watch it.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. DJ Hayden, the corner, in on the tackle.
That's it, baby.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check, 47.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Under 10. 10.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I'm going to hit you all.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw here, Dalton. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Calais Campbell, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
4th down, Dalton wants to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Now they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Mike, 54. Here we go, here we go.
Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go.
And Dalton to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. But now it's 3rd and goal. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now they run with Mixon. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
You're out.
Again, it's Fournette. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
1st down, Jacksonville.
Ready.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw it. Minshew. He sets to fire deep. This is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. This is Mixon, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, defense, let's go.
From the gun, Dalton. Got a man open, it's Ross. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try on 4th. Here's Dalton. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Andy Dalton now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
2-by-2. Move. Hey, Charlie.
And it'll be Dalton again. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
34-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Regular.
Right there.
Another chance for Dalton.
Do better. Come on, QB, come on.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing, Dalton. And he fires one, but incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Let's go. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Who's that?
They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton, he's going to fire this thing deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Hands up. Lead.
54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Shift.
Check motion.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Yeah, baby.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Watch QB drop.
Regular.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54.
Passing, it's Dalton. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Calais Campbell in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? So Dalton now. And he's going to go down again. The former All-Pro, Marcel Darius. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Back to you. Check 3.
368.
Mike's 47.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Bryant is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Come on, set.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Matchbox lights.
You got tight.
Get it.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up the 3rd down. Now Leonard Fournette. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Ice.
Dalton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey. Yeah, 5 6.
Dalton now to pass. He gets this one to Boyd. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Jam.
368.
Bengals going for it. Here's Dalton. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hands up, lady.
Right there. 54 Mike.
I got him.
Mike's 54.
Hands up.
To throw again. Dalton. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, we got to get this stuff.
This will be Dalton again. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
47 Mike. Mike, 47.
On 4th down, Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Good work.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Tighten up.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Brings up 3rd down.
Hands up, lead. Here you go, can.
Here I come.
It's do or die for Dalton. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Jaguars, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all. Dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard, dash, honey yard.